because of ice. And many Americans are scraping windshields just to see out of their cars. 3 weeks, city streets and neighborhoods are coated with ice after all.
Hello, my name is Tom Siles, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show number 187. What you're looking at is my brand new emergency radio. Got this yesterday. Yeah, I'm a sucker for what I think are bargains. And this, I think, is a bargain. I got this brand new radio from Amazon for $12.50. And if you have Prime, it's free shipping. $12.50. And this is an emergency radio. And what makes it an emergency radio is it has a light. No, that's not all. Okay. It has a light. It has AM, FM, 2 shortwave bands, but it's totally analog tuning. Just big, crude tuning. So I don't know how well it's going to do on shortwave. I have not tried it on shortwave. I will try it one of these evenings, tonight or tomorrow night, on shortwave. Don't expect too much. But that's not really why I bought it. It does not have a weather band, so not that. But it does have the LED light. It does have AM and FM. And it does come with adapters so that you can charge your cell phone in an emergency. And it's a crank radio, so it has a dynamo. So you hook up this adapter, you hook it up to your cell phone. This cable hooks in the back here, right there, and you start cranking. And the theory is you can get enough charge in your cell phone that you can make an emergency phone call. And this type of radio I would have, like, for instance, in my vehicle, because it seems like your cell phone dies right when you need it. And you're away from your house, you're away from any place so you can go in and charge it. So you're stranded. Your car breaks down, you're out on the highway, a car breaks down, or some back road, I should say, and you need to charge it just enough so you can make a emergency call to get some help. So that's where I would put this in my vehicle and just throw it in there and leave it in there. $12.50. I'm not worried about it dying or whatever, getting stolen. No big deal. It has, besides the crank, the dynamo, which will charge a internal battery, so that you can crank it for a while and then you can listen off using that battery. It also has an AC adapter port. Now, for $12.50, you don't get the AC adapter, so you have to supply that yourself. So you ain't getting that. Or you can get an adapter to hook it to your car, but it has to have a down converter because you only put 4.5 volts in, or not 12 volts. Now, the battery compartment is right here, very easy to open, and you can use 3 AA batteries for power. It's another source of power. And this thing draws very, very little power. The radio does. And it has one LED, so that's not going to draw much power. Now, what the manual shows in a picture is that you can replace the internal rechargeable battery. And the manual says it's right here. Well, I don't see any easy way to get into that compartment. I see no way. So I think you're going to have to take these 4 screws out, take the whole back of it to replace that rechargeable battery. Probably won't have to do that very often, so not such a big deal. What is convenient, and I'm not sure why, is right here it says coin open. You put a coin in here and pop out the LED for changing it. How many times do you change an LED? I've never changed an LED in any device I have. They last forever. But in this case, you could change it if it burns out. I don't understand that. Anyway, Up here on the top is a little red LED that lights up when you're cranking this thing and it's producing power to either charge the internal battery or to charge your cell phone. Now, I did a couple of tests. One test I did is when I first got it, nothing worked. So I cranked it for about 15 seconds, and sure enough, the radio worked and the light worked. And what was interesting is the radio continued to work even though it didn't have much of a charge, and the LED did not come on at all. That's kind of weird that the radio would work and the LED wouldn't at low charge. But anyway, I digress. So then I did my 5-minute test where I crank for 1 minute, I rest for 1 minute, I crank for 1 minute, I rest for 1 minute. I do that 5 times. And then in this case, I turn the radio on an AM station about medium volume and just let it play, and timed how long it took before it discharged the battery from that 5 minutes of charging with the crank. It lasted 35 minutes. 35 minutes with 5 minutes of cranking. I think that was pretty cool. That passed my test. Again, analog tuning, pretty crude. Probably shortwave would probably be nearly impossible. The other thing is I found an adapter that would fit my old phone. I couldn't find one that would fit my new phone. And I did test to see if it would indeed charge this phone, this little cell phone. This also happens to be my emergency cell phone. So first thought was, if I charge the internal battery, can I charge my cell phone just with the charge off that internal battery? So what I did is I found an AC adapter and I charged the internal battery for about 4 or 5 hours. I hooked up, in the back here, I hooked up this adapter cable and I hooked up the appropriate adapter, plugged it into my cell phone. The cell phone indicated it was not being charged. So then I pulled the crank out, started cranking, and sure enough, my cell phone shows that it was being charged. So it will charge my cell phone. I didn't take the time to, because my cell phone was already fully charged, I didn't take the time to discharge my cell phone to see if I could charge it, how much it would take to charge it to get a phone call. I didn't do that test. Sorry. So I only had $12.50 radio. Okay. So that's about it. You know, I think it's worth $12.50, brand new. Little telescopic antenna for shortwave. I'm going to test the shortwave in the evening, see how it does, see if I can get some stations. And I'll put a little note in the description of whether the shortwave bands worked okay. So that's about it. The case, really cheap plastic case. Sound is not too bad considering it's a $12.50 radio. It does not have any headphone jacks, so it's strictly mono. But, you know, for a radio that I can like maybe put in a bag or something and then throw it in my vehicle and just leave it in there and use it for emergencies, I think it's a good buy. $12.50. Now, compared to my other emergency radios that I've shown you, which cost, $40, $50, $60, and has, a solar charger and has weather bands and stereo output jack, $12.50. It's a bargain. So that's the show for today. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Oh, leave a comment if you got a comment. If you think this is a waste of money, a waste of time, tell me. It won't hurt my feelings. I've bought more junk before, so I'm used to buying junk. Bye-bye.